Secretary Benson, let me first begin with what we just heard you say. What is the threat level against you now in Michigan?
I mean, we're heading into what by all accounts will be a very contentious election cycle. And so while in this very moment, today, July 2023, things are quiet, we are bracing ourselves, all of us, not just me, but election officials across this state, for the harassment, the threats, the challenges to escalate as we get closer and closer to and throughout 2024. So we know full hand this has not gone away. In fact, my previous opponent for this office in 2022 now runs the state Republican Party. So we're ready. We've endured it before. We're ready to endure it again. And grateful for the peacefulness of this day, this moment, but we know more to come is ahead and we're bracing for it.
Secretary Benson, when did Jack Smith and his prosecutors reach out to you for what you could tell them?
We've been in near constant, frequent communication with the Justice Department really since December 2020 or shortly thereafter, or I should say after the first of the year, after January 6th, made it very clear what in some cases we knew throughout those months, which is this is a concerted national strategic effort to undermine the results of a legitimate presidential election. It affected us in Michigan, but it also has strains in not just Georgia and Arizona, but Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and other battleground states as well. So we have been turning over every piece of evidence from the false slate of electors, which we shared in early 2021, through my interview and several others' interview with the prosecuting team in March of this year. I have confidence the investigation is comprehensive and looking at all potential angles in which illegality occurred, and is also proceeding in a way that is very evidence-based. And our job as state election officials is to turn over all the evidence we have of any wrongdoing with regards to the elections and allow justice to be done.
You mentioned an interview. Does that mean you were not questioned in the grand jury? It was in an interview setting?
Yes, I met with them in Michigan, and a number of other Michigan officials did as well. The former election director, Chris Thomas, who advised the Detroit election clerk in 2020, the Antrim County clerk, several lawmakers, including a Republican lawmaker, Ed McBroom, who oversaw an affirmation of our election results after the fact. So again, casting a wide net, talking to many people, and seeking facts and evidence of any type of wrongdoing. That's been the pattern throughout these last few years.
And what did you tell Jack Smith's investigators?
I can't, as I've said, I don't want to compromise the investigation itself, but a lot of what I've said is already public through my testimony to the January 6th committee hearing before Congress in 2022. So a lot of the focus is on Antrim County. We know that a lot of the experiences that we had were about how lies and threats transformed themselves and manifested themselves. How lies around our elections transformed themselves into threats against us personally and how that impacted us. And not to mention the false slate of electors, which appears to be a very intentionally coordinated effort to lie to the federal government about who won an election. So casting a wide net, looking at all of those things, and I continue to share all the evidence that we have of wrongdoing with all federal authorities as well as state.
Was it your sense that they showed up with a particular focus before they arrived there?
Not necessarily. I mean, the focus has been clear in every conversation we've had with any law enforcement official, which is, all the different ways in which there was a concerted effort to overturn the results of a presidential election, and to the extent that it was coordinated from state to state. Certainly the false slate of electors is an example of that. That's at this point now very well known. But again, a lot of the conversations, as it was with the January 6th committee and in other settings, have been focused on how this effort, this attempt to overturn the will of the people, went beyond that and led to violence. And of course, I experienced that outside my home in December of 2020, 2 days after Rudy Giuliani was in the state falsifying statements about our election to state lawmakers. And we saw that escalate to the tragedy at our Capitol on January 6th as well. So that violence that was a result of these lies, I think, must be part of any examination and seeking of justice in this case.